Hello everybody and welcome to the To Hull and Back podcast, proudly sponsored by Old Zoological Bar and Kingfisher Fish and Chips in Hull. Just putting a note in here at the start of the episode to let you know that when we recorded this episode, Sergej Jakirović was not yet announced as Hull City manager officially, and that this was recorded at our quiz night at Old Zoological Bar on Friday the 6th of June. It was a great night. We raised a lot of money for charity. So when we do the next one, we hope to see even more of you down there. Anyway, on to the episode.
So I'm Ant Northgraves. If you haven't seen me already, you've probably had a go at me on Twitter at some point.
I'm Eddie, right? I'm the one who gets all the abuse.
And I'm Christian Sorensen. I'm the one who generally has the arguments with Eddie. So yeah, we'll be expecting a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, I'm Nathaniel Whitto. I'm your host.
Joe Collins. I've waffled on YouTube for a bit and now I'm here.
I'm Eddie's dad, Paul, right, and I get a bit of hassle, but not as much as him.
The good thing about this, to be fair, is that there's no intro for Nathaniel to mess up. So
I think I've already messed it up twice, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, what's there even to talk about? Because we don't even have a manager yet.
We do, don't we?
Well, he's on his way, or is he actually on holiday?
Well, I'm sure I'm read that he's passed it. Well, he's been granted his work permit and is bringing across some staff. Joel no. Look,
So
Encyclopedia of Hull City.
here we
knowledge.
go.
You printed out the names, haven't you, Joe?
I have done a pronunciation guide for everyone around me. So along with the new manager coming in, has he done it? Oh my God!
That's probably
the
too
entire
much.
ball.
Just for anybody listening, Joe, what's happening?
Someone has eaten a load of chili
For charity.
for charity.
Put 15 quid in.
15 quid and they've ate a load of chili. Well done.
The commitment, well played.
Well done.
The
Really, really
chili
well
eating
played.
on that table, by the way, I think has earned an extra, what, 40 quid, I think?
Wow,
I did a tenner.
unreal.
Well, I'll pay the money, but I won't eat the chili. That'd be too much for me.
It was too much for me. I still did it.
Oh, I'm just happy to pay the money.
Shall we get back on track?
Yes.
So with Sergej Jakirović, he is going to be bringing in some members of staff with him. It was initially reported he'd be bringing in his two assistants at, I've forgotten the club he's at, Kayserispor. They are Fevzi Lajic and Kamil Dulda, both of whom are Turkish, the latter of whom is born in Kayseri, so they are not coming over, they are staying where they are. He's bringing long-time assistant Marko Salatovic with him, who had a modest playing career in the sort of middle of nowhere in Europe, really, no clubs that anyone's ever heard of. But he joined up with Sergej Jakirović at Maribor and has been with him ever since. He went from Maribor to the club in Bosnia, in Mostar, the first bit of which I can't be bothered to pronounce because it's got too many letters in it. Then he went with him to Rijeka, hometown of Ivor Panda. Then on to Dinamo Zagreb, now Kayserispor. Also coming along with him are his fitness coach, Marin Ivancic, and analyst Angelo Roguljic. And the club are also getting another English member of staff, supposedly. A shortlist of 3 English coaches to help him adapt to the division.
So, Andy Dawson's staying.
Andy Dawson and Erbil Bozkır are staying put, yes.
And why is he getting another English member of staff then?
No idea.
It just seems like they want to keep people in a job. I mean, the coaching staff's going to, increase, by 2 times? How have we got the money to spend all this on?
I don't know. I feel
people?
like as a club, we keep asking for stability. Andy Dawson is the one thing that's
stable.
the only thing that's been stable about this football club for the last few years.
Mm-hmm. Of course, David Myler has now left as well. Where's he gone? Was it
He's gone to Cork City, hasn't he?
as assistant manager.
He's a Cork lad. He wanted I just want to say, having seen a lot of David Myler managing for the under-18s, there is no man better to lead that group than David Myler. He was phenomenal with them, a man who knows what it means to play for the area, to represent us as fans to wear the shirt. He was the perfect man to lead that under-18s group, and everyone that I've spoken to, a lot of the under-18s lads over the sort of year, and all of them sung David Myler's praises. But he wanted to step into senior management and first team management, and at Cork he got the opportunity to do that. But it wouldn't surprise me if at some point David Myler returned in a coaching capacity at Hull City.
How are we all feeling? Because we haven't really had an episode since Sergej's been linked. So obviously with it being off-season and stuff, I'm actually quite optimistic about this one. I feel like we all wanted, and we all probably would have wanted, a manager that's been in the Championship, done it before, been there, done that, wore the T-shirt. Yeah, 100%. We all would say that. But then, obviously, being linked with people like Emre, which obviously nobody wanted, and
I'm glad it's not him.
Yeah, didn't for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Michael Beale, which I think again unanimous, nobody wanted.
He'd have found common ground with Adjan very quickly, though, wouldn't he? With burner accounts.
With the burner accounts, yeah.
Well, let me say this: appointing him wouldn't have been the be-all and end-all.
Oh God,
Jesus wept.
Michael Beale, no.
Even in person, we're not exempt from a Nathaniel pun. But no, so the Sergej link to me was, when you look into, at first you're thinking, I don't even know who he is. But when you look into it a bit more, and his points per game, his win ratio, all the clubs he's been at multiple clubs. It's not like Volta, who's only been at, was it 1 or 2?
Holstein Kiel, Stuttgart and Hamburg.
Yeah, and he wasn't even unanimously liked by them.
He didn't actually win anything. He'd been at Hamburg and he didn't get promoted. What did Hamburg get this season without Volta?
Promoted.
He got promoted.
Yeah, so... but when you look at him, he's a manager who knows how to win. So, irrelevant of Championship experience, I mean, you can give an example like Reggie Libri at Sunderland, who's just got them promoted. I mean, we've got a couple of examples that don't work, Shota Arveladze and Tim Volta. So we can counteract that, but I think every now and again you do have to take a gamble. But this one actually seems like a calculated gamble, which I think the other two weren't. Shota was Adjan's mate, and Tim Volta was just some random geezer.
Does Adjan calculate anything?
Absolutely not. Let's be clear.
Somewhat. I think the guys that he's hired have, and Adjan's probably not even been that involved really. But this guy knows how to win football games, and I think that's the kind of thing we need. So I'm quite optimistic.
I'm not sure at the moment. It's one of them where I wanted a proven manager in, and as most people know, I did say I would have sacked the manager at the end of the season. I was one of not
you were
many.
Very controversial in saying that.
Well, very controversial, but that was my opinion, and I'll stick to my opinion. I think that Ruben didn't do enough for me, and he made too many silly mistakes. He could have had us safe a lot quicker than he did do. So I've got no problem with the sacking. The problem I have is, have we appointed the right manager? It's one of them where I think we're all going to be a little bit, the jury's out at the moment until we've seen what he can do in the Championship, because, as you say, it's okay doing it in other leagues, but the Championship's something totally different to everywhere else. We all know how difficult the Championship is. It gets harder every single year, and this season is probably going to be, again, the hardest it's been. You look at teams like Wrexham who've got promoted, the money that they've got to spend.
Birmingham as well.
Yeah, Birmingham's another one, and trying to compete with this when we've got an owner at the moment that's asking for investment because he's struggling a little bit, it's a bit of a worry, isn't it, Paul?
Quick,
It
give
is
the mic.
definitely a worry, I think. I mean, you've got to see how this chap goes. We didn't know Tim Walter. All right, his back record wasn't brilliant, but you didn't really know how we would fare with him, and we was poor. He was a poor manager. He didn't get the players together. I think that's one thing Ruben did. He got the spirit back in the club, which was good. I personally wouldn't have sacked him personally. I think he should have been given a chance, because you've got to look at the 3 players we had out. We've got 2 of our better players, Miller, and the midfielder Matazzo, and also Balumi, all 3 good players out, and he never had a chance. I mean, he was left with what he was left with. So I just think I'd have given him a bit more chance. But we've got to give this new manager a chance. Obviously, he's coming here. Well, hopefully coming here. Don't think he's been fully signed yet, has he? But hopefully coming here. We've got to give him a chance, I think. I think we just need some players. And some of the better players still aren't available till later on in the season, I don't think. Your Balumis and Millers and Batazzos. So we're going to have to, we can't hit the boards losing our first 3 or 4 games, because that'll obviously straight away the supporters will be on the manager's back a little bit, and obviously on the owner's back. So it's going to be a bit hard for him, I think, because it's the players we need in. You know, we need a few players in, I think, and whether we get the right players, I don't know. And when you consider our left-back, our best two left-backs, I think, recently have been Greaves and McLaughlin over the last 2 seasons. It says something about our left-back position, doesn't it? So that is definite we need somebody there.
Ryan Giles coming back, though, isn't he, Chris?
I knew the
Your
second
best
I heard
mate, Ryan Giles,
the second I
Christian.
heard about a left back being mentioned, I knew you would all stare at me straight away about Ryan Giles. But look, I'm gonna go down the Sergej route first of all. Look, I'm optimistic. I am actually quite optimistic with regarding that. The only problem is, again, we wanted someone with a championship kind of provability. I guess it's all out there for us to see when the season starts. And I'm not actually overly concerned with the manager side of things either at the moment. I think my biggest concern is the state of the squad, or what the status of the squad is going to be as well. Because we still have a lot of injuries, and we've got a lot going out the door. We do have a hell of a lot already looking at going out the door. I mean, I think one of the biggest worries for us at the moment should be, I can't believe I'm saying this now, our central midfield all of a sudden. When our central midfield, we were just teaming with players, and we were actually thinking, why the heck do we need another central midfielder? Now we're getting rid of them all, or someone's leaving, and we're like, well, what we're going to do with the central midfield? So it's a bit of a kind of concern and worry in that kind of department now.
Let's go to the floor, shall we? Ant, you're roaming.
Right, I'm going to find the people that really don't want to be in mic.
So, anybody that don't want to be on the mic tonight?
Yeah, we'll come here first. So, new manager, Sergej Jakirović. If he comes in, it's looking like very likely he's coming in. What's your thoughts on it?
Nobody knows, I think that's the problem. Could be great. In the words of Gattuso, I don't swear on this podcast, you'd have to be.
Go for it.
Could be shit. Nobody knows.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Yeah, Gattuso would be good here, wouldn't he? I didn't know.
Two loose cannons.
Right, Jimbo.
Could be another Marco Silva.
Jakirović. Yeah, on there. I look at him personally.
Relegated.
I think it's
Another Marco Silva will get relegated.
Paul reads it in the
Concede 5 corners every match. Not winning away.
So I'm optimistic on that side of things. What about Ryan Giles? Would you give him another go?
If we played a wing-back system, I don't think he does. So.
Oh, Christian hates you right now. Sorry. Jim!
I'll let you off.
No? Oh, Jim's busy. We're not worthy of his time right now.
Jim's lying.
Let's go up the top. Let's see what they've got.
Right, which one of you is the City fan?
If you're going to talk, let me know, John. I'll stick you on.
New manager, Jakirović, what are we thinking?
He's not managed any big clubs, has he? But
Zagreb's a pretty good club, to be fair.
got a good points game ratio.
He's just copying me there. Let's cop out. We're not having this, guys.
You've seen your tweets, Ant.
Never should got rid of Rosinia. No. You packed it now. Say peace.
Just look at the bits that he's doing at Strasbourg and what he's done there compared to how Tim Walters has performed in the league. Liam Rosinia kept him up. What the two managers done. I know Tim Walters kept seeing him.
Whoever the manager is needs a striker.
Liam Rosinia.
Senior, absolutely love that man. But we've got to move on, haven't we, apparently? So
We've moved on 4 times, isn't it? And
well,
there's number
yeah.
4 coming
One
in.
family, one dream. There's an awful lot of divorcing going on here.
Do you know what? I nearly wore my cap tonight that says "One family, one dream," and I thought I best not. I'm gonna get some shit anyway.
You've not bought that.
I do you know what? It was a £5,
Oh
so I
my
thought
God.
I'll buy it.
Cheapo for the beach.
Cheap one for the beach. Taking the sea, lose it. It doesn't matter, does it?
Look, on Sergej Jakirović, it's a risk, like Ant said, and there's a lot of pressure on him, on Adjan, on the board to make sure that he has everything in place to succeed. And
Do you think, Joe, that he realises how much pressure's on him?
I hope he does.
He won't.
Because
He won't.
much like sacking Liam Rosinia will forever define Adjan's legacy as an owner in English football, this appointment could also set the club up for where it's going to go in the future.
League One.
And by that, I mean if it goes wrong, then we end up in League One, I reckon, because the Championship is stronger this year, and it would be harder when we have to make a managerial change mid-season to pull us out of that mire again. Which I hope we're not in that situation, but it's not out the realms of possibility. Look where we finished in the league last year. And look, you look at the teams coming up, Birmingham will be nowhere near relegation. Wrexham's squad, I don't think is particularly brilliant. A lot of people will say they can walk into this division and challenge, but they're not looking at it with regard to actually what's in that team. They're looking at it as to, oh, they've got Disney money, Ryan Reynolds, I've watched them on Netflix, it's okay.
Yeah, but one thing they've got
is clash.
Not just that. I think they've got a good team spirit.
They have.
And they've had a good team spirit, and that's one thing that's been lacking at Hull City.
They're all 35 though, aren't they? The team, they have a lot of money.
We've had older players, and we've had a team of a lot of older players, and we've got promoted with a team of a lot of older players, so it can work. And I think that, they could do all right this season, Wrexham. I disagree. I think they'll do all right this season.
I was going to go on to say, but they will spend. They have got money to spend.
They've got the
and when
money.
they spend that money, they will be absolutely fine. Bringing Tom Kearney in, that's a fantastic signing if they get that over the line.
Well, he's still been playing, hasn't he? He's still been playing for Fulham and doing all right for him. So it is a great signing for him.
And Charlton, they are, although they've not got the quality, and I do think they'll go, they have got a brilliant Championship manager in Nathan Jones. He, as a manager in the Championship, is about as good as you can get.
Well, just at Luton, Stoke was pretty bad, from what I remember.
Yeah, it was.
It was very, very bad.
It was, and so was Southampton when they were in the Premier League.
They've got an okay Championship manager then.
I think Nathan Jones is a very, very good manager, and look, I think they will still go, but it won't result in Nathan Jones getting sacked. I don't think. Then I worry for someone like an Oxford. I worry for basically. I think it will be Charlton, Oxford, and whoever has the worst start that goes down and doesn't pull themselves out of it. And that could well be us. So that's why there's the pressure to get this appointment right. His CV, I think, is quite similar to Shota Arveladzi's, and I got some flack for it, but they've won trophies in minor divisions. They've managed big clubs in Europe. They've got teams in Turkey into positions that they have no right to be in Kayserispor, in pulling them out of the mire, and Kashim Pasha for Shota Arveladze, getting them in Europe. So I just hope it works out better than Shota Arveladze, but I'm not going to laud it a great appointment or anything like that just yet.